What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to give you a quick overview of what really moved it today, go over some of the data points and what shorts did. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Faraday did go down 6.8%. So for the most part, it was piggybacking off of GameStop. So it did have a nice spike up to roughly around 56 cents. But then GameStop sold off, as well as just the broader market leading into Powell. So unfortunately, it kind of piggybacked off of that. So in reality, Faraday hasn't really been acting on its own ever since it squeezed. It's just been, again, piggybacking off of either GameStop or just the negativity on the broader market. So it hasn't necessarily been the best, but hopefully sooner rather than later, you're going to see Faraday once again break away from the other meme stocks as well as the broader market and go higher. So I'm going to talk about what shorts are doing and why that might be coming. But even after hours, it is going down 1.19%. So a couple abnormal transactions recently. So again, I'm going to go over all of that. 59.6 million shares were traded. 348 is the average. So very low volume. And so that's something that Faraday has been really struggling with. And in a momentum slash squeeze play, you do need a ton of capital. So when it did squeeze to around $3 plus, I think $3.90 as the high, you saw in excess of like 400 transactions coming from institutions. Today, there was two above $100,000. So it does appear that institutions are overlooking Faraday, and that is the fault of the company itself, because institutions, yeah, they like to invest based on the momentum play and squeeze stocks, but at some stage in the game, you really need to fall back onto the company itself, because that's one thing that GameStop absolutely has. Yes, is being heavily shorted, but a lot of which people have a bullish argument. Hey, they have a ton of cash. They might actually be doing something with that, and they actually have physical stores. Faraday, like I've said in the past, I think it's all very fun and exciting for it to squeeze, but the fundamental business itself, I've been very bearish on. So I think the company is trying to piggyback off of the good momentum, but no doubtably they diluted like 10x what their float is, and they will still continue to do so because they have no other solution. And so it is a very, very unfortunate scenario. Even as of today, there was no news, so relatively quiet. Last news came out May the 29th, and there was a 8K that was submitted after hours yesterday, and that did allude to, again, another red flag that's happening behind the scenes. So on June the 9th, 2024, Lee Han, a member of the board of directors of Faraday, notified the board that she will resign as a director of the company for personal reasons, effective immediately. And for those of you that aren't really familiar with kind of the lingo within companies, that ultimately does show that there's a massive red flag. Nobody leaves a director position for whatever reason. And because when it comes down to directors, yeah, they have a big role. They guide the company where obviously they see it justified, but at the same time, they don't really do all that much. And as well, they are paid fairly well for that. So in reality, I see this as a red flag. Of course, you can just read it and kind of trust it for face value that it is just for personal reasons alone. But given the history of the company, which I know very, very well, I know a lot of people might be new to Faraday just because of the whole squeeze aspect, but the company definitely has a interesting past. So I see this as a very big red flag, and no doubtably this is why institutions just do not want to touch Faraday. At the same time, this is why shorts are increasing. So today they did increase around 16.55 million shares. 20.69% of the free float is being shorted, still on the threshold list. So it's been on the threshold list ever since May the 9th. So I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see if the SEC does something, but obviously at this stage, probably not. Cost to borrow average is 13.73%. And I'm sure some of you might be wondering, why did it jump up so much? So there's 2 times per month when the NASDAQ does disclose the true numbers. They're always delayed, but this is one of those times. It does show as of yesterday, they disclosed, they released it yesterday. So the actual date is May the 31st. So as of May 31st, there was 30 million shares being shorted, and that works out to be 78.83%, an increase of 150%. So very, very high stuff. And just want to draw your attention to this. This is obviously what really kickstarted as well the big rally, because obviously based on April the 30th, which was disclosed on May the 9th, there was 36.34 million shares overall being shorted. And that equated to, at the time, we didn't know that the outstanding share count increased, was 95%. So that's what drew attention, or everyone's attention, to this. So kind of shows that shorts are increasing. So ultimately, what the hell am I saying? Because I even posted it on Reddit right here about this, and someone just says, like, can you tell me what this means? What am I trying to say? So if you do believe in Faraday doing having a good squeeze aspect and a squeeze play, it's still on the table. Because shorts are doubling down once again, they're increasing. So if you do feel that retail has the ability to really push this stock higher and go against the shorts and once again have a second run on a squeeze, then it could happen. And especially if you look at the options activity, you do see a lot in open interest as of June 21st, 2024 expiry date. So I did bring this up in previous videos. So in theory, if Faraday is able to keep above 50 cents at the very bare minimum, you will have roughly around 22,000 in open interest that is going to be exercised. And so meaning market makers will have to go to just the either pre-market or during the trading day on Monday to buy those shares. And then even better, if Faraday is able to be above $1, then you're going to see 47,000. So this is where you could see a gamma squeeze aspect, and then obviously that would incorporate a potential squeeze play. So that would be occurring most likely on June the 21st. I know a lot of people don't like to throw out dates and whatever else, but just looking at the stats, it doesn't lie. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if you think that is going to really kickstart a gamma squeeze, and do you realistically think that Faraday can beat the shorts? So that's kind of a deep question, but what's your thoughts on all of that in the comments below? Aside from that, there's been no other updates from Faraday, no additional videos. And so right now it is just, like I said, piggybacking off of GameStop. Volume has dropped dramatically. But on a positive note though, it still has stayed above 50 cents. So shorts will definitely want to suppress Faraday below 50 cents, making these 12,000 for this current week expire worthless. So you are going to see a little bit more of a battle, whether it be Thursday/Friday, for shorts to push it below 50 cents. So kind of just stay tuned for that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.